What's happening? And welcome back. Look, happy Sunday. Um, Happy Spring Forward Day. Today, we're springing forward in 2024. Today, here's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about some sales. The simplest way for you to grow your sales as a business owner. And I'm gonna tell you, it's gonna blow you away. And what I've personally discovered in my own business and by looking at other businesses for the past 20 something years, most business owners who don't do this one thing, they tend to not be growing their sales. All right, cool. So let's jump in. And before I get started, I want you to think about something. What if you could 10x your sales this week, this month, this year? I want you to think about that. 10x, like that's low level. Jay, what do you mean that's low level? Here's how it's low level. In the Bible, in the parable of the seed of the sower, it doesn't mention anything about 10x. When the seed falls on good ground, what does it mention if you've read it? You read it. 30x, 60x, or even 100x is what the Bible talks about in growing. All right. So why am I talking about this today? You're thinking about if you could, how would it feel to 10x your sales? Like this week, this month, how would it feel? Oh, well, I haven't made any money. Well, 10x from zero. So that means, if you wanted to make 1,000, then 10x that. So I just want you to start there. We have to start at a baseline, because what I'm seeing, like what I'm seeing in the marketplace it's like so interesting. I'm going to tell you exactly the thing that causes many not to grow. Even some of listen, I've gotten stuck at 20,000 a month before. Stuck, just kind of like flat. 20,000, all the way through. Why? I'm gonna tell you why. Now, before I tell you about me, I'm gonna tell you about the businesses that I've looked at. Hey, how much money you want to make? It's a question. Oh, if I'd be able to make $10,000. All right. Okay. 10,000. Cool. Want to make 10,000. All right. So that's what you want to do in the business. Great. So how much money you need? Oh, I need about 8. I need about 7. I might need 10 of it. Oh, wait a second. So you want to make 10 in your business, but you also need 10. That doesn't make any sense. You have a business. So the first thing we want to look at when we are just kind of diving into the simplest way to grow your sales and business is how much do you need? You got to know how much you need, right? Because knowing how much you need, then you have to multiply that at least, right? By you got to double that at least. Why do I have to double it? You have to double it because if you need 10,000 and you take all the money out, you have no business. You can't even grow a business that way. Oh, so you should double that. If you want to have 10,000 come to you, then double it to 20,000. If you want to have 20,000 coming to you, double it to 40,000. But we're talking about 10x. We're talking about 10x because a lot of times we look at the money and we think of it in the same frame as the person who was an employee. You remember being an employee? You might still be one. I remember being an employee, and I remember working on a job where the VP in my department was making about $300,000. I thought for sure that was like millions of dollars. It was like, he's making $300,000. Oh my goodness. This person's making 150. This person making 200. This person's making, I thought that was a lot of money. And that has been, think about it. That's the death of your money. It's a death. Guys, I'm speaking from my own personal understanding of money and the fact that poverty, how you look at money, follows you all the days of your life until one day you look. So I was recently looking at some of my own numbers. I'm looking at us, and I saw something that really jumped out at me. I said, "Wow." Then I said, "Wow" again, because something like going up, coming down, going up, coming down, and so I saw something. I went and looked at 2023, looked at 2024. I didn't go back to 2020, 2021, but I'm looking at these numbers and I'm saying to myself, "Oh, I got it, man. Oh, I see the problem." See, I heard someone else say something that is now it's coming out. I'm understanding what they said. This coach was talking about how people who aren't growing, I won't use the one word, but people who aren't growing and people who aren't really really focused on where they're going. Um, what he said is that it's the use of money, how you think about money is part of the problem. Meaning, if I'm thinking about paying the bills, come on now, if I'm thinking about paying the bills, then and I'm getting money for the sake of paying the bills, then you always be lacking, because I'm just thinking about paying the bills. It's not until you start thinking about growing your money, like, oh, you know what? I'm going to make this money, but then I'm going to make some more. Then I'm going to keep making more. And even Jesus did it. Jesus was rich. Jesus had money. Jesus wasn't broke. Jesus wasn't poverty stricken. And the Bible has the nerve to hide to actually hide it in there. It shows us in there how he got rich. He never worked for it. Uh-oh. Jesus never worked for his money. He never worked for riches, and he had it. Okay. You're probably wondering, he was rich. They say, Jesus was poor. No, he wasn't poor. Check it out. All right. There's a couple things here. There's a couple things that we want to just debunk and demystify. And let's first do it right here, where when Jesus was born, there's a lot in the story. I'm not going to go into all the story. When Jesus was born, he was born in a stable. Why? Because there was no rooms anywhere. Not because Joseph didn't have any money. It didn't say Joseph was broke and he couldn't get a room. It says that there was no rooms available. So they took whatever they can get. So that's the first thing. Let's debunk the myth that they didn't have any money. They had money. There was no rooms. So he had to take whatever he can get. So here it is. Jesus, Mary has Jesus, and then the wise people show up. You know how in that story they talk about how it was three wise men. It was not no three wise. There's no record of a three wise men. Now, they gave three different types of gifts, but there was no three wise men. It was not. What was it? There was people that showed up that were wise, and they came with offerings to a king. Lots of money, lots of stuff that financed Jesus's whole life on earth, the whole life. So I'm not going to get into the story. There's a lot of nuances, but I want you to go and read the story. And then with this newfound somewhat of an enlightenment on the fact that, wait a second, if they gave him all this, they gave him all this stuff, they gave him all this money, then how can I get that? Why don't I have more? So when you have a mission, I ain't gonna say a mission, we have a purpose, and you're following God's purpose, God has to provide for your purpose. Now, here's the thing. Now we're not going to focus more on that per se in this podcast, but if you watch all the podcasts, if you continue to come back, we're going to always be talking about the purpose for which God created you. What we're talking about today is the simplest way to grow yourselves as a business owner. And here's the simplest way. You must look. You must pay attention. You must know how much money is coming in to the exact number. To the exact number. When I say to the exact number, sometimes folks, they get cash and they don't put it in the bank. You don't even know how much money you made. You knew you got money, but you didn't put it in the bank, or you're not tracking it. I'll be on calls with people, and they'll be like, oh, I don't know how much it was. Maybe this, maybe that, but they don't know how much. You should know to the penny how much money you're making. Now that's the first thing. Now that's first level, because there are many business owners and many folks that's probably keeping track of their money, and it's still not growing. Why? Here's why. Grant Cardone taught me something some years ago that really blew me away. No one ever teaches this way. No one ever talks about the top line of the profit and loss statement as the most important line to look at, where most business owners are so busy thinking about expenses, thinking about all the stuff that money is going out to, that they forget that the one line on the top that says sales is the most important thing that we should be focused on. Look, I've been victim to this. I have victimized myself with this. To victimize me. Knowing that, see, sometimes you can know something and still don't do it. So I'll be honest, like, I didn't know. I'm not always like, oh my goodness, like, look. But you know what? So I'm sharing with you today, if you want to grow, you got to first look. Jay, well, nothing's coming in. So you get to choose. You get to choose today. So if you were just starting out and you've never earned $250,000 a year, which is about, just call it $20,000 a month, 20,000, 433, 20,833, no, 20,833. So you make 20,833, you're going to do $250,000 a month. What? I mean, $250,000 a year. Why do I say you should have that as your first goal? Not 100, not 10,000 a month. It should be at least 250. Really more like, we're going to go up one more time. 300,000 a year. Why? That's $25,000 a month. Business, 99% of business owners never get to $250,000. $300,000 a year. So instead of going for the lowest part, 100,000, 10,000 a month, that's nothing. You're at 300,000, you actually feel it. You actually feel like something happened. At 100,000, look, as a business person, that's not enough. Sorry. So we got to first set a target for where we're going financially. Look, then for those that's like, man, I don't want to limit myself. Great. I love that. You don't want to limit yourself. Maybe you can do $1 million this year, couple of million, who knows? All right. So now we can kind of invert it. Couple other ways that we can look at this. How much money would you like to give to charitable folks? Like, say, for instance, you made a certain amount, or say, for instance, you could, in your wildest dream, donate or give charitable financial stuff to, to other organizations. How much you want that to be? I've done that before. Like, oh, I mean, I'd love to get away $100,000 a year, 200,000. Okay, good. Then that's an inverted way to do it. Then another way. Here's another way to do it. Let's create an objective. This is probably even better than creating a financial. I'm not gonna say that. You should have a financial target. I'm sorry. I'm never going to tell you to not have a financial, because you got to at least have your eye on something. But the objectives, when you say, what if I only make $1 million this year? What if I only make 250? What if I only make 300,000? What if I only make 5 million? What if I only make 10 million? So you're only your way to your numbers, but what's the objective that we want to have? This is a simple way to grow your business. So if I have an objective, that, I want to do this thing, but I want to have an objective to reach out and touch 100 people a day. What if I have an objective like that? Then now you're not focused on the target of money. What you're now focused on is the thing that you have to do every single day. Do you have a thing that you do every single day that could potentially grow your sales, that could potentially grow your finances and start the multiplication process? Do you have at least one thing you can do every single day? Guys, I failed at this too. Now I'm like here, and here, because, as a founder of business, there's so many things to do. You're creating this, you're doing this, you're doing that, you're doing this, you're doing that. And then you look up and like, man, we're moving a little bit slow. And I says, this is it. just need to focus. Focus. Focus, right? What if this actually happened? Wow, that feels so good. Oh my goodness, this is amazing. It's interesting because I was looking at how God is blessing me. And I'm like, God, there's like things over here and things over here and things over here and things over here. He's like, yeah. Just keep going. Just keep going. But then he highlighted me today because there's something in my spirit that I have to create. Another book. Another book, another program, another way, a tactical way for people to learn how to do something. And he was like, okay, this is what you need to get right here, son, today. You gotta focus on a simple way, right? Because a simple way is what's going to help hundreds, thousands, millions of people. Simple. See, Jim Rohn said something that I don't think a lot of people have ever really understood. Here's what he said. It's easy to do, but it's also easy not to do. Meaning, usually success, the things that you should be doing, they're easy, they're simple, but they're easy not to do as well. So if that was true, all I had to do was focus on a successful action that has already been proven to work. Then why am I not doing it? Why am I not doing it? The question raises concern for many of us business owners who have, I've been around for 20 years. I said, man, I could be further along, but I'm not. Why? Because the kingdom had to come in. The kingdom had to come in and rescue me first from myself. So for me, I know why it's taken me the time that it's taken me to get to this point, because the kingdom had to rescue me from myself. And when I say the kingdom had to rescue me from myself, the kingdom had to rescue a person that didn't always have the right mentality when it came to money, when it came to doing things, when it came to growth. And so if I would have been more successful without the kingdom concepts, it's called crash and burn. You're going to crash and burn. But if you don't want to crash and burn, if you're a business owner, you say, Jay, I don't want to crash and burn. Great. Because this is where we're going to get equipped. We're going to get equipped with the methods, the actions, the mindsets, and the tactics to get to the next level. So today, here's what I want you to take away and understand. In the simplest way to grow your sales as a business owner, you must first look. You must look at where are my sales? Where are my sales? Am I making sales? And then say, well, how am I getting them? Like, am I really making sales, or are they just kind of like showing up haphazardly? Where are they? Right? So I'm looking at my sales. What do I want? Like, how much do I want? I'm making sales, but I have a business, so I can't take all the money. So how much do I really want for myself? And then I need to at least double that. And then from doubling that, I should be thinking about a 10x on the total number. Well, Jay, that seems like a lot. Don't worry about that. Always say only when you're thinking about these numbers. It's only going to be $1 million. It's only going to be $2 million. It's only going to be $3 million. Oh my gosh, it's only going to be that. That's nothing. That's nothing, man. When you think about that, man, if Walmart only did $1 million a year, oh my goodness, that would just be terrible, right? They would shut down if their revenues went down to $1 million. If Amazon's revenues went down to $1 million. So it's nothing. They're making that on a daily basis. Think about that. Millions on a daily basis. If they're doing billions, they're making millions on a daily basis. Every single day it's just flowing. So that means that there's no shortage. There's no shortage of money anywhere. So why would I think there's a shortage? So I'm down 10x, and then it's the mind. It's the mind, right? So the mind has to, the mindset around this doesn't, you don't have to be like, oh my goodness, it's so much money. Or no. Right now, the mind has to shift into, I just have to do this one thing every day. I just have to do this. Like, just gotta reach out. I gotta send emails. I gotta have a funnel or whatever. I just have to do something that is pretty simple, pretty easy, but it's also easy not to do. So if it's easy not to do, then here's how we're going to tackle that part, because that's the part. The easy not to do is what we got to go and address before we start. Here's what you would have to address so that that doesn't get you. Here's how you do it. What could potentially cause me not to do what I'm supposed to do? List those things down. So you can, because remember, you got to look. Then you have to be looking at that. Because if they come up, oh, I knew that was going to come up. Oh man, this is a distraction. You got to be able to list all the distractions that could potentially show up soon as you start trying, not even trying, soon as you start doing this thing, this objective that you know you have to do. Oh my goodness, look at all these things happening. Wow. But I knew that was going to happen. So that's not going to stop me. So it's nothing like getting started. And so I'll use my health because I'm more successful. I'm way more successful with my body, right? And I'm still working on that because I haven't always done it right scientifically, but I would much rather keep going. I would much rather not stop than to say, well, man, things are not working. Well, you know what? I'm gonna keep going and just keep tweaking along the way. Like I learned something yesterday just about lifting weights. Man, I haven't been doing that right. It's called time under tension, right? It's how much time, like instead of I'm doing it so fast, you got to do it slow. You got to have so much time. The muscle has to have so much time under the tension that it forces the muscle to grow. But if you're just going so fast, the muscle is not going to grow. You get some a little bit of results, but you're not going to get the big gains. And I'm looking at some big dudes and they're showing it. I said, oh, that was what I was missing. I was missing the time, the heaviness of the weight. Not that I'm trying to be too heavy, but even if I'm doing a lighter weight, it's the time under the tension. Same for growing your cells. It's the time that you spend doing it that one day you realize, oh, I'm better than I was. It's the time that I've spent talking in front of the camera, talking into the microphone, talking to myself that has helped me to become a storyteller, that's helped me to be, I'm learning about things while I'm in a conversation. This is my time to talk. Nobody can butt in. So we're going to use all that to help grow sales this year in 2024. So check this out. You want to grow your sales in 2024? How much you want to grow? Like, how much you want to grow your sales? Look, put in the chat how much you want to grow your sales. Look, here's the thing. If you want some accountability, I'm going to open up an accountability group. I got to make sure I write this down so I don't forget. I'm going to open up an accountability group for business owners, kingdom entrepreneurs, folks who are trying to grow their sales. It's going to be an accountability group. It's going to be a free group. And all you have to do is join the group, right? I'm going to start, sharing this. Hey, if you want accountability, grow your sales, it's free. We're just going to be in there helping each other grow sales. If that's what you want, I'm going to provide you. There's going to be a way for you to join sometime this week. But at the end of the day, it's nothing like accountability. That's who accountants are. We are accountability people. And I'm going to open that up for any business owner who would like to be accountable to grow their sales. So guys, look, that's today's message. That's today's word. Spring forward has happened today. Look, this is where we're going. We are springing forward to success. We are springing forward to exactly where we know we should be. And look, don't miss the opportunity to grow in 2024. This is your time. And my name is Jay Moore, the Healthy Accountant, helping you to account for your life. God bless. And I will see you on the next episode. Peace.
This has been the Account for Your Life podcast with your host, the Healthy Accountant himself, Jay Moore. Until next time, make it a great day.